Welcome back. We're here to cover the karmic third-party read. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology and I coach the Twin Flame Collective into reaching their union. Now, we do also have the joint connection that will be coming up each weekend. And if you do want to join our members, you can get the pre-released editions out, as well as we do cover private in the dark super chats. From time to time, I do host live events via the public, so stay tuned and subscribe and you'll get the notification. Let's take a look at this karmic update. Now, April was always destined to be quite a profound, transformative month, especially if we were just to look at it from an astrological point of view. We had the back-to-back eclipses from March and April, and yes, they are going to be transforming, and they're making a very pivotal conversation. Anything to do with us versus other people, marriages, contracts, partnerships, what those connections are, where we place values. Yes, we can have trade that comes into the picture with that. Definitely from a karmic point of view, karmic cycles can be these inevitable turning points, especially that are going to come up. And I already see the crowning energy. It's the star in reverse. And this whole read really was looking ever so messy, ever so tense. And sometimes, yes, we can look to the karmic energy as a guidance of where we may be struggling spiritually, especially when we're getting into that union energy. We initially will look at the videos on YouTube and in other platforms from a guidance perspective. We do have some platforms that do cover astrology via the Twin Flame Path. I'm one of them. And that is to get us into that union point. Now, initially, you will look at the masculine as that individual, the feminine as you, if you are the cross watcher and you're the divine feminine, and the karmic third party as an individual. Now, it can be a person, place, or thing. Separately, when you're really getting quite ascended, you will also look at it and you'll find they kind of merge, because the shadow energy can be the karmic. That can be within all of us, and it's where we can potentially struggle. The masculine can be more the hunter-gatherer side of things. It could be your working life, how you're reacting, the assertiveness, the 3D world, and the feminine is your intuitive and emotion. So look at it from those perspectives to give you a holistic approach of how to ascend, and then look at them also separately. So what I see for the karmic third party really this week, especially because we are going to be having the eclipse on the 8th, we're moving through this as interesting that the star card generally does proceed after a tower, but I don't feel this is actually occurring at this point in time for these individuals. I feel the star card in reverse is this feeling that something is not going to go about the way they anticipate, and I do feel potentially that is a truth. I'm also seeing from the past position here, you know, it's almost like this is coming out of nowhere. Now, messages, let's read this card. We've got the red eyes, we've got the Mars energy coming through. It is a 6. The 6th house can be the house of personal undoing. Message for a rabbit. Service to the animal world. Now, rabbit, I just psychically keep saying, like, the beginning of the month, rabbit. And I feel it was almost like this. These individuals did not see this coming. They really didn't. They're looking to the past. They're quite baffled. They don't quite understand. They acknowledge the fact, because it's coming through in their crowning energy. They're acknowledging the fact this isn't looking so peachy. Crap is going down. And in the heart of it, we have a physical contract, marriage, or partnership in reverse. So this is a crashing down. This is a tower moment. Something is looking messy. For some, yes, it can be coming through from a psychological point of view, but it is coming up in the heart space. And this can be to do with trauma of the past. It can be also acknowledgement that something isn't quite what they wanted. Now, although they are going to recover from this, it doesn't necessarily mean life is going to look how they believe it is. There is the acorn here. And I'm noticing that these individuals potentially post-eclipse, there is an opportunity for them to get on their divine path, but their intuition relating to this is feeling quite blocked. If they're quite fixated and they're not accepting the status quo and they're not accepting change and they're not able to be flexible, this could be a circumstance that is dragging them to the past, especially with Mercury retrograde in the mix. Any delays, it's almost like it's really not going to serve them. And I feel these delays are going to kind of blindside them. It's like something that was hidden is coming to the forefront. Something that they were trying to prevent is coming to the forefront. This could have been the reunion of the divine partnership. This is also some dirty little secrets coming out into the open and how they've abused their personal power. Yeah. I do think there also could be financial issues coming up and personal habits that they're having to address. And for some, they could have a transition to do with their purpose. They could also be looking at another for their purpose, and they're being asked to really go through a detox here. They're being asked to, at a foundation level, the requirement is to purge an old pattern. Some of them know they have a problem in an area. Oh, these cards are just jumping out. Yeah, this is emotional upheaval. This is stress. This is wanting to go back into old patterns and habits. Wow, these cards, honestly, they're jumping out. Okay, they're being asked to have courage in the face of change, and this is great change. This is upheaval. There also could be something at a collective level that is occurring that is also causing emotional anxiety. Fives are very difficult to come to terms with. They could be gaining a fresh perspective on this, but they're also gaining a perspective. Yeah, there's a lot of change. They're not liking this change. They're not trusting the process. We have, again, love in reverse. This could be a problem that this person is faced with in their life, and it's very personal. They can feel very, very alone, and they feel that they're having to walk this mountain alone, and they don't know how they're going to achieve what they're wanting to achieve. They feel if they... they could be seeking outside themselves, but they're having to really trust in the process. It's not that they're not protected. They are protected, but not in the way one would think. It's almost like they will be rewarded for good actions, for good choices, for perseverance and resilience, but they're having to level up. They're having to look inside themselves. They're having to look at they're looking towards their alliances. This also could be towards their partner or one that has left their side. But it just feels as though they're looking outside themselves at this point, and they're quite perplexed by it. I'm also hearing the term, nothing can ever be taken that is truly yours. It's just transformed. I feel for some, they have known this for a long time. They've also known that the person is unhappy, but they directly are unhappy. This person could be quite vindictive, and they could, because their intuitive energy is picking up on this person exiting stage, the vindictive energy towards wealth is coming up. There's a lot of projection. This isn't stopping this exit of stage here. It doesn't. Oh, this is revenge. This person wants revenge. Yeah. They know how the outcome is going, and it does not involve them, although they're not accepting this. And this is quite a vengeful energy. It's almost like, if I can't have you, the Star card in reverse, nobody can have you. I deserve to have the happiness. But a lot of this happiness was actually coming outside themselves. For some, this is also a person that had already separated. This could have been an old boss. It could have been an old co-worker. This also could have been a physical partnership. Now, what I see here is the outcome, and I pulled to clarify, especially to do with the value energy in the mountain and having to really reshape the way they're doing things and accepting it. And instead of focusing on others and what the status is, but to actually look at their life and to say, okay, well, where to from here? This is a very messy situation. Do I want to go back into a messy situation? Do I want to try and own a circumstance that doesn't belong to me anymore, that never really potentially did belong to me? I kind of call it the borrowed library book. It's like, okay, I borrowed this library book and I know I've got to give it back at some point, but I'll just recreate a whole world of putting a foundation upon it. And then unbeknownst to me, one day, bang, the star card in reverse comes. This person is at a crossroad. Now, for some, yes, I do see this mountain is they will move hell and high water to get their revenge. And this revenge can be to do with wealth. It can be a misuse of power. We do have the individual who is involved in this situational ship, but going in a different direction, regardless of what this person and how this person is going to react. That is because they spiritually have done the transformation inside their own personal life and their self-focus, which is the guidance for these individuals. And I do feel this person is going towards their true north. But I feel if they move too fast, there could be a bit of revenge on the cards with this individual. And it's almost like they're wanting to move into punish this person who's wanting to exit stage. This could come in the shape of phone calls, Mars-like energy, because we literally have the misfortune card as the outcome. But I feel it's their actions to do with this. It's like, okay, I know where this person's going. I know what they're doing. I know they wish to go. This is something potentially that was broached before. But the outcome card for the individual choosing to exit stage is positive. But the attitude this person is taking is misfortune. It's a building burning down. So it feels revenge orientation. So my guidance would be the individual involved with this circumstance. If you are exiting stage, go gradually into the night to come into the light. Watch that you don't leave crumbs behind. Allow that, and it takes time to reach closure. And a lot of people inside connections reach closure as they're exiting. But we can't always live our lives based on what another person will do. So definitely the guidance would be, okay, use our logic, obviously. Definitely be cautious, but at the same time, we can't live in fear of what the other person may do. That really is their accountable point. We can be aware of it and protect ourselves. This person is quite vengeful. That is one thing I will say. We will check in with the joint energy very shortly. If you want to come through and join us, remember to click the bell and you will get the notification. If you do want to see the next edition of the Karmic Third Party and all the other updates we have, come through and join a YouTube membership so you don't miss a beat. I'd love to hear any gossip you have relating to this update and what you know in the mix.